Well, thanks again for joining me, Gemini. It's September 2016, and your ruling planet is Mercury. This month, as the month commences, your ruling planet is in what we call retrograde motion. The average person has heard about the retrogression of this planet and how it's supposed to cause all sorts of, pardon me, havoc with life. There is an exception based upon my studies in Hindu Vedic astrology that if this particular planet rules favourable houses, and indeed the sun sign is a favourable house, then it's, and also the fourth house for you, which is Virgo in your domestic situation, it actually empowers you, it strengthens you and gives considerable strength. Planets in retrogression get considerable strength. And it is strengthened and empowered in your chart up until the 22nd, where it then goes into direct or back to apparent forward motion again. It's going to make a lovely aspect during its transit there in retrogression to Jupiter on the 3rd. That is going to follow the powerful new moon eclipse. Look, there's an ant on my screen. Let me grab that. Sorry, folks. I didn't want to hurt him, but I don't like those ants getting into my equipment. It's not good. I won't be able to do your videos anymore. This fourth house is your family. There's 4 planets there right now. The moon, the sun, Jupiter, and your ruler, Mercury, in retrogression. So the dominant area of activity or thought or intent is this domestic sphere, which has to do with your family life, your mother. Vehicles as well are sometimes indicated by this part of the horoscope. And along with the 9th house, the 3rd house, which are the educational areas, the areas of the mind, Vedic astrologers, such as myself, also look at this 4th house as an educational house. It is most certainly the house of peace, having 3 benefic planets there, and your ruler in retrogression indicates a drive to find more peace of mind within yourself during the month of September. And having the new moon eclipse there is an extraordinarily powerful force that can open up from within what I call the science of human possibilities. So anything's possible this month. If you have a desire, because this 4th house also indicates desires, along with the 3rd house, which is the sign ruled by the sun, Leo, and all of these are pretty much activated, then you will start to see some fairly significant events flowing forth from these aspects. The right angle on the 13th of your ruler in retrogression to Mars, which happens to be in your marital and relationship sector, that's not an easy one. And then it's pretty much in the orb of Saturn too, not quite, but that frustration we talked about over the previous month relating to your relationships could again challenge you around that date, which I've got marked here as the 13th. That can bring with it squabbles, disputes, misunderstandings, and perhaps communication that on your part is a little bit too impulsive, too domineering and demanding. You need to just, someone's been telling me this, breathe, just relax, listen to what other people have to say, even if you're right, and then gently use your skills of persuasion, which you have ample amounts of, being ruled by the intellectual Mercury, to get your point across. The other one there, as I mentioned, the stationary direct motion that takes place after the 22nd, that retrogression, irrespective of whether it rules you or not, is a retrospective sort of energy where you can go back over old ground, get to understand where you've been, what you've done, what you can do, learning from your past errors, self-correction phase, and that's all good, especially given the fact that Venus is moving in your 5th house of love affairs. That is one of the nicest positions for you. It brings with it a highly creative energy, a love of love. For those of you that are in a relationship, this is all very, very nice. It seems to be free of any really difficult aspects. It will move shortly into the sextile aspect of Mars, the sextile aspect of Saturn. These give you a healthy amount of passion, but at the same time a solidifying and stabilizing effect from Saturn. So these are all really, really nice aspects. We see also that there's a little bit of a compulsive energy around the 11th with Venus in the right angle to Scorpio. That's a sexual energy, and moving into the sextile of Mars, you probably have ample need in that area, need I say any more. September 24th, it then moves into your 6th house. So this is health related. I'm getting for you, 6th house of health, diet. Venus can sometimes produce an excessive desire for food and sensual activities. So you need to just be a little bit careful of that one, Gemini, that you don't overdo things. Moderation is the key with Venus in the 6th house, particularly with chocolates. I've found that people having Venus in the 6th house suffer some diabetic issues, especially if the North Node is there. And for you, fortunately, the North Node's not there, but it will show your sweet tooth coming to the fore. Let's not tell anyone about it. Now, here's an interesting aspect too. I forgot to mention that very, very important transit of Jupiter. Again, the planet ruling your 7th house of marriage, moving into the sign of Libra, the 5th house. Again, so you're going to have really the two greater benefics here, Jupiter and Venus moving through this 5th house of love affairs. You've got that passing conjunction of Mars and Saturn, which has been very, very frustrating for many of those born under the sign of the twins. And now, at least, we can say things are starting to move ahead nicely, and you'll start to see a smooth flow in your life in a lot of these different departments. Don't forget to check out the in-depth analysis of your month. You can get that. That'll give a more detailed and chronological order of the aspects, because I tend to jump around a little bit based upon my intuition and what I'm feeling I want to say. And then you can fine-tune that, polish that every day with the daily readings that we have, which hundreds of thousands of people are really enamoured by there at our site. And until next month, have a good one. Enjoy that retrogression of your ruler. Look forward to seeing you again in October. Bye-bye for now.